Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is Scandal, Season 4, Episode 13. We start right off at the beginning of this episode with Leah being cursed out like hell by Abby. And she's telling him, you're disgusting, this, that, thing, and the other, and all of this and this. She kept saying, and I'll just fix it myself, Dan. I'll just fix it myself, and this, that, thing, and the other. You're like, what the hell is really going on? She's like literally just tearing up a new one. So then you see her, she goes, and she's gone and hired Liv. Okay. There's this whole thing with this book. This girl named Susan Thomas, has written a book. And baby, it's a tell-all. And there's all of these officials and all of these senators and this one and that one that she just screwed and did all these lewd acts with. Very 50 Shades, if you will. Okay? So she didn't got down. And there was like a chapter of it that has gotten out. Leo is actually in one of the chapters. He did have sex with this girl. That's why I got to Abby, and Abby tried to clear it up. Because again, everybody knows that Leo and Abby date. So again, every time Leo does something, it affects Abby because her name was brought up. And she said this thing here would make her the laughing stock of the White House, which was true. So that's why she was taking care of it. So, okay. So Liv goes directly to the girl, goes to her house, told her, you basically get rid of the book. Spend you a day, shred all that shit, and get rid of it, or I'll bury you. I will destroy you. I will absolutely destroy you. Because at first she was like all happy to see. She's like, you're Olivia Pope, this, that, and the other. Honey, Liv told her, girl, listen, I ain't got time to be playing with you. You get rid of this information, or we're going to get rid of you, honey. That's all there's to it. You're going to be all fucked up, you know? It was already a mess because everything was already fucked up. The bitch was already blackballed and all of this kind of carrying on. She called Abby as she left there, and she was walking out, you know, regular Olivia Pope fashion, and told Abby it's handled. And she said, good. She said, I'll have Leo send a check over. She said, tell him it's on the house. Because she had code names and things for all the people. It was like 17 chapters and 17 different people she had up in this book. So that was that. Next thing we see Huck meet with David Rosen about, you know, him doing the testifying against B613. So he wants immunity, okay? So he can go home with Harvey and his mom. You know, he wants to be done with it. Because if not, all the shit that Huck's done, he's going to jail. You know, it's in those files. He's going to jail. So he wants the immunity. Dave was like, well, I can't just grant you immunity because it doesn't go along with the whole plan to really take B613 down and blah, 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 blah. Honey, Huck's eyes got the dancing in his head carrying on, and he hollering, talking about, I want immunity. That scared David Rose about half to death. And Dave was like, Lord have mercy, what am I going to do with this little pit bull, honey? So we're like, okay, Huck. So we switch on off of that. The next thing you know, we see this Sue girl again. Now, she didn't come up into Olivia Pope and Associates. This time, she done walked up in there, up into the office, and talked straight shit to Liv. You know we don't do that, and that don't go on very often. But when I tell you, she literally talked straight shit to Olivia Pope, like she was the Wendy's girl on the outside of the Wendy's building. She talked shit to Livy. Honey, sat up there and told Olivia, I'll make the book go away if you get me $3 million. You get all of the people together that's in the book and get the money extorted from them. Give me $3 million and I'll go away. Told Olivia, I don't know what's going on with you. You used to be good. Now you're all soft. Come and pointing your finger at me because I had some great sex. And then telling me about, am I worried about what name people are going to call me? They're going to call me a whore. She said everybody who writes a memoir is a whore. What do I care? She really did let Olivia have it. So next thing I know, Olivia's on the trail of getting these men together. Honey, because they needed to get the book. So they set out for, Huck stole the book. He went to her apartment. They found the book, him and that damn Quinn. Quinn set it up. Lord, she got Charlie. Because the girl did a lot of internet dating and stuff too. She's a tramp. Got Charlie to go on a date with the girl while Huck went in her apartment and scanned the whole book. He found it and scanned it. Came out. They're going through. Well, wouldn't you know, David Rosen was one of the chapters. This was before he became Attorney General. But he's in there just saying. Olivia ended up getting all of them together, all 17 people who were implemented. And everybody was willing to just go ahead and pay to make it go away except for David Rosen. So he told them it's against the law, it's extortion, and I will not be a part of it, and neither should any of you, this, that, thing, and the other. In the meantime, in between time, Huck's running around crazy and mad because this whole situation with the book being as though David Rosen is in the book. Now that they put a whole big damper on his whole thing about the immunity because only David Rosen would actually be the one that would make the deal to do that. If the book gets out, David Rosen is not going to be Attorney General for very long because now you're tainted and we can't have you in that position. So Huck, they got all nervous about his immunity and all of that. In the meantime, Melly lets Abby know that she's going to be running for senator and wants Leo for her campaign. So they go through all that mess. Cy blackmails Liz, telling her that he wants the votes for Melly. Liz goes behind Cy's back and goes to Melly, telling her she want to partner up with her. She said, you don't want just to be the senator. I'm following what you're doing. You want to be the president. And I'd be the perfect person to line yourself up with, because you know what my work is like. You know I leave dead bodies all in the road, baby, when I do my shit. So I was like, oh my gosh. And through all this, Abby decides, when the situation with the book done got all out of hand, Abby decides to write a resignation and turns it into Cy. Cy didn't care for it. Talk shit to her. Told her he got more pressing matters. He put her out of his office and told her, whatever day you want me to pull the trigger on this, just let me know and I'll go ahead on and fire you. No big deal. But he didn't care for it. He was pissed because she's folded. You're folded and fucking running. And you know Cy ain't down for that. She's being a little bitch baby. And he didn't care for it. You can see it all on his face. Then he takes his crooked ass and tries to get Liv to give him a copy of the book. Because naturally all the secrets in that book, you know Cy will find some reason to use them. And Liv wouldn't go for it. You know, she's had one of her moments. She's like, this city, this country, this, that, the other. Like, oh, girl, shut up. Shut up, girl. And in the meantime, they do all of that. So Liv goes into the background of Susan to figure out what really is going on and what is it. Is it really money she wants, power? What is it that she wants? Well, you found out she fucked all these people. And then she got to one person who, you know, because that's how they were here, that she was such a kinky sex girl that's how they were like just passing her around. Well, one person she turned down was her boss. He fired her. He had her fired. He had her blackballed. And that was that because she turned him down. So that was the whole issue with that. Liv, you know, she don't like that shit. So she switched over and told her, okay, baby, you're going to be my client. We're going to get him. We're going to file a sexual harassment suit against him. You make the book go away. The book's going to go away. We're not going to play this game with this book because that's not going to turn out good for you. But what will turn out good for you is to sue him for sexual harassment. You're going to come out smelling like a rose. And she already had 2 interviews for jobs lined up for the girl. So the girl, you know, she switched her whole demeanor, hug, live, and all that. So everything was going real cool. They were going over to Huck and Quinn went over to the house. They were going to give the girl the copy of the book and they were going to shred all the shit about the book and all that. They get to the house, the the lock is broke, and you hear her in there saying, help me, help me. One of the guys who was implemented in the book has this bitch at knife point in the kitchen. when they go in. And they're like, what the hell? You know, and Huck grabs him up, yanks him up, and tells him, you get out of here. You get out of here. You run and leave. And Quinn's got the girl consoling her. And Quinn's like, you let him go? Why'd you let him go? And Huck is standing there and he's like, he needs to go. He needs to go. This can't go on, whatever. So Huck is standing there looking really strange. So Quinn's like, okay, well, you're okay, but then she's fussing. Why would you let him go, Huck, when you knew anything, baby, in a 2-second, honey? Huck took and fucking slit the shit out of Susan's throat. Just one swift motion. And slit that bitch's throat. That bitch fell over on that ground and bled out. Quinn is like, what in the hell are you doing? Well, why would you do that? Everything was fixed and everything. Honey, she's laying on the floor bleeding out. He told her, he said, no, look over there. She has another copy of the book. She was never going to always be quiet. Eventually, somewhere down the road, she was going to come back up with that book. She was going to talk eventually. And I just can't have it. He's like, I can't have it. What about my family? This, that, and the other. So then Quinn kind of understood exactly what he was talking about. Because all this time, Quinn's been trailing Huck and carrying on, trying to figure out what was going on. And she finally got a hold on what it was that was going on. But he slit her goddamn throat. You understand me? He silenced her ass. Shut up. Shh. I said, oh my gosh. So that was that. They had to go back. Quinn basically told Liv, old girl's dead, honey. It is what it is. Olivia's like, who did it? Do you know who did it? Blah, blah, blah. Quinn's given just to know that by protecting her, you're exposing members of your family. People who work with you. You know, you leave people open. David Rosen, and other members of your family. She left it. She caught it. She knew. She didn't know the whole story, but she knew it got something to do with that motherfucking Huck. So, that's that. So, Huck got his immunity deal. There was a whole nother little situation, or 2 other situations going on, and I'm going to wrap this up. Olivia had went, her nervous system, I told you all, is a mess. She's trying to get herself back on track. She went out to do a little slutty move. She don't go out for one night. She goes on out, sees a little guy, and she was going to trick with him. She told him, let me go look in the bathroom. Let me go freshen up in the bathroom. We're going back here to my apartment and tear this thing down, honey. So she goes to the bathroom and ends up looking in the mirror, has a flashback of when she was accosted. And it fucked her up and she ran out through the kitchen and left. Well, at the end of the program, she goes back to the bar again, runs into the guy. This time she actually goes through with it. What the bad part is with that is, in the beginning of the episode, Fitz has actually put Jake on payroll to trail and spy on Olivia to make sure she's okay. So, you know, that now Jake and possibly Fitz knows she's running around fucking other folks. So that's kind of sticky and ugly and very scandal-esque. So we're kind of getting back to the way things were. It was a whole lot. I was like, boy, Olivia. Ugh. All right. But anyway, guys, so that's it. You can thumbs up or thumbs down. You know how that works. We're back on track with my scandal reviews. And happy to be so. And I will catch you guys on Thursday for the next episode. Bye, guys.